I'm very pleased to be here. My name is Alban Richard. I'm the president for Usasoft company. I will use one slide to explain what Usasoft is doing. We are actually here to present OpenCloudware initiative that was started in 2009 by actually merging two projects. So I was part of the two guys that has been putting this project together. Now you have 18 partners. Starting this since January 2010, we will see the partners. And the funding for this project is 10 million euros. So there is a lot of technology in there. What we'll be able to do today is give you an overall understanding of the full capabilities of the platform. And my objective is to be able to help you to understand, but you will have to dig into that after. Okay. Towards a PaaS management stack over multiple clouds. So in 2009 already we were like, we have to go hybrid. We have to go hybrid. Of course today it's an obvious requirement from two different angles. It's extremely important for everybody right now to be hybrid for enterprise. Why? Enterprise wants to be able to keep control of what they do, especially at the infrastructure level. And the first thing that they are looking at is, for 70%, we saw some numbers previously, they are looking at building a private cloud. In the same time, into the enterprise, you have the shadow IT. So the infrastructure people are putting some private cloud together. And they are offering VM on demand with an OpenStack, a Cloud Stack, a Nebula, a VMware vCloud Director, or a vCAC. They are putting some private cloud inside the company. In the same time, you have the people building applications in the company that are using Amazon or other public cloud. So this is the shadow IT effect. So you can see that for the enterprise side, it's extremely important for the IT departments to be able to manage, get control against what happened in the past, and being able to have one single platform to be able to manage applications from, and we will see that, from think, build, run. The project of OpenCloudware is from modeling to monitoring, run. The whole end-to-end scope in a multi-cloud environment. I think that's it for this slide. Of course, you will see more details around what do we mean by think, build, and run, and I'm going to explain a little bit what it is here. But a little bit around the project. First, it's a collaborative project. So there are 18 partners who will see the name of this company. We're developing around building a IaaS agnostic dev to test, development environment platform. Everything is actually provided in open source, so you have a lot of open source projects that you can actually join to benefit from the OpenCloudware initiative. There is no on-track production environment of the full solution. You will find from the partners some productized components of the full end-to-end picture, because this is a so large scope that it's pretty difficult to be able to productize the whole platform. Like I said at the beginning, OpenCloudware is addressing three things. I model, I deploy, and I run on multiple infrastructure. What does that mean, I model? If you think about cloud computing, that are three things: automation, multi-tenant, pay-as-you-go. That's why Amazon is successful. They have been actually successfully delivering on these three things extremely well. You also have to, if you want to automate, what you have to do is to be able to have templates or model. You have to think about the whole architecture as a template, as a model for automating. So the first thing of the project is to be able to do modeling, assembly, visual designing through a portal. Of course it's multi-tenant, of course there are APIs, of course it's buildable per pay-as-you-go. And after that, what you can do is, of course, deploy what you have been building into applications. So we're starting from building the applications, deploying the applications, VM placement of the application, monitoring the applications through the entire life cycle, and you can come back in this cycle. This is a 3 years project. We are nearly at the end. I would say a few months before the end, right? 3 to 4 months. Danielle, that is going to help me in these presentations, is a project leader in the OpenCloudware initiative. So Danielle will step up to be able to go in more details on the architectures. Here you can see OpenCloudware partners. So you have large corporations. Actually, Ushsoft is a very small startup company who are still under 50 people, who are global, who are more and more market leader in the hybrid cloud and cloud brokering. I will talk a little bit about that. But at the beginning of the OpenCloudware project, Orange Labs was pushing a project, the R&D project with few partners. Ushsoft was driving a project, and the government has been asking us to merge the two projects in one project. So we have been merging many different piece parts with different projects into OpenCloudware initiative. So I will let you go through the list here. But you have large corporations, Bull, Orange Lab, Thales Services, some startups, and academic, and of course, very important, OW2, which is supporting for the disseminations, for the open source hubs, for the different projects of the OpenCloudware. One slide on Ushsoft. Ushsoft started in 2008. We have been putting around 90 man of engineering into the platform named UForge, and we're actually facilitating the onboarding of applications. Because if you think about it, what is driving cloud? Application drive cloud. Of course, you need to have the infrastructure, but you need to think application, not infrastructure. So we have been actually developing a full platform with different modules, factory, to be able to visual design from any OS to any cloud. We're supporting around 30 different clouds connectors as a service: Amazon, Google, Azure, CloudStack, OpenStack, Nebula, Flexient, for instance, and of course all the virtualizations, and also physical. So cloud computing is not about I leave on the side what is existing. What you have to do when you provide a platform like UForge with building applications, with modeling, migrating live servers. So we have the first module is about building applications in visual design, so the modeling. This is why in OpenCloudware we are responsible for the modeling part. So the modeling part and the building of the images with UForge is actually part of this project for this part, the factory. We also have a module migration that is helping actually to migrate live servers. So you can scan an existing servers in your data center, or maybe 10 of them, discover inside, look at the file systems, audit, discover some security breach, replicate and reproduce in less than 30 minutes to any cloud targets. You also have an app store. We're putting right now a platform for 200,000 subscribers for an app store, which is it's a little bit like an iTunes platform, but for the cloud computing, with templates, with VMs, with IDs, with Docker images, if you would like, with SaaS informations like Office 365. So it's a multi-type platform for cloud providers and enterprise. And one module is extremely important is the governance. You need to be able to, and this is coming back to the enterprise business, you need for the enterprise to keep control. So keep control means I want to align all my software across different cloud environments. I need to have the same OS on Amazon that is running locally, or on Amazon or Azure, and I need to control in the same patches, my applications, my middleware, and have all the role-based access control around it. So governance is extremely important. I was talking about, at the beginning, about the importance of hybrid. You understand the importance for the enterprise. The importance for the hybridations for the cloud providers is the reversibility. Ushsoft, and I will finish with that, we are deploying 1 to 2 new cloud providers per month. We're going to do through a press release next week with 10 cloud providers. We did CloudWatt, Plug2Watt, we're working with Numergy. We're going to announce next week Dassault Cloud, also Ikula. They all take our own technology, white labeled, and go on the market with our platform. We have been actually launching this initiative with Cisco last year in February with APX and packaging an appliance in a box for the enterprise connected back to CloudWatt for full hybridations and cloud brokering. So if I come back to OpenCloudware, you will see those different modules. So what you have to look at, if you look at the full scope, it's templating. So how can I get a service to be able to build my VM for any cloud with different formats, which is not obvious. If you go to Azure and you take a VM that is including, that is not including a root password at the first boot, you will not if you take an Amazon with a SSH access and you want to transfer to Azure, be careful. On one side you are going to have SSH access, on the other side you are going to have a root password to connect, because Azure doesn't support SSH key for accessing through the console. So you have different modeling techniques here that are very important to be able to support at the very little fine-grained details all the installation processes of an image, the middleware of the operating systems, and the middleware on the applications for templating. So this is the first part. The second part, the second trunk, I should say, is about self-service portal. Of course, it needs to be multi-tenant. User needs to log in to get his environment, to get all the tooling, to get everything that he needs. Part of that is service plan factory. This is about not building just a single image, but building a multi-tier solution. So this is about modeling the multi-node environment. Most of the times you are going to have a web layer, a database layer, and maybe you have a grid layer behind it. And what we can see in terms of use case scenarios is that maybe you want to keep the database inside the company as a private cloud and do the bursting of the web layer into the cloud provider. So you can manage your peaks for Christmas sales, for instance, with scaling and load balancing and scaling the web front, and keeping actually your database and critical informations inside the company. So being able to model in a multi-cloud, again, environment, a multi-node infrastructure is very important. Of course, after that, what we want to be able to do also is collaborate, share, having an image gallery, being able to have e-commerce around what you have been building in terms of applications. And from there, go to your different clouds. So this is where you have a lot of modules into OpenCloudware for VM placements, for brokering, for different things, to be able, for monitoring, to be able to actually go to different cloud environments. I hope I have been able to highlight a little bit high level. And now Danielle is going to take over to explain maybe a little bit more the different modules and architecture.
Yes,
If
thank
you
you.
want to introduce yourself as well.
Thank you, Alban. My name is Daniel Stern. I work at Orange Labs, and I'm currently the project manager of OpenCloudware project. So I propose to actually swap rapidly to a demonstration video, where we will show you the scenario where an application is firstly designed, then deployed through the building of several virtual machines. Before to go to the video, just a few words on the different technologies used in the OpenCloudware. Here are listed the providers, the developers of the different building blocks. Of course, they are all open source. Okay, let's go now to the video. So normally,
Maybe you can come back with the questions to the architecture after.
It should be here. Okay. So here we have a view on the building blocks composing OpenCloudware. Now the first step is to registrate. So Mr. Brian Smith is going to create a new account. And now he's going to access to main task. First task being registration of an infrastructure provider. We add a new provider. This provider is the OpenStack within OW2, and we just have to put several parameters. Now it's added, and now the core step: create a project. The project is a very simple one. It's just a web store. But a web store, nevertheless, needs to have several tiers. Application design now through a modeler that was developed within OpenCloudware project. With this modeler, you may build entirely an appliance, a service, with several tiers. Here we have a 3-tier application, very classically, with a database and Apache server. Now we are going to ask for the generation of the different VMs composing the application. And finally, most of the VMs will be generated through an OVF format. So we can address several OS, several technologies, several networks, type of networking. Here we customize the virtual machines. With a single portal. This is very important. Whatever the final technology you use, VMware, OpenStack, and so on, you have a single manner to design your application. And the result is an XML file that is in a OVF. It's an extended OVF format. The template is now exported. And we may now create a new application using this same template. Which is very important and interesting. We may evaluate the cost which will be taken by the application if deployed on such or such infrastructure. Here, for example, if we deploy it on OW OpenStack for 1 month, the cost is estimated to what's written here. It depends, obviously, on the information available from the IaaS providers, obviously. Now, time to deploy. We have switched the role here. We are now administrator. We may notice that there is already one application was already running. We are creating the different VMs composing my application now. Now it started. And to conclude this, this video, we may connect directly to the application with whichever mean exists. Here we have we will see we have a very simple console here. That's it. Now what's planned is to connect with a tool allowing us to monitor the performance of the application using Cliff, the open source project, and which will allow us to loop, as Alban told before, to redesign, if needed, the application.